friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we are back for episode 3 of Chit Chat Tea and Get Ready with Me. I have my Earl Grey black tea here. Love it so much. I'm going to be answering a bunch of your questions, comments, assumptions, all of that about me. Before we get started, don't forget to upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday for you guys. Lately, I've been trying to do a lot more than that as well on top of those 3 uploads a week. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to hear me answer your questions, comments, assumptions, all of the above, then let's go ahead and get started. I had quite a few people participate in this, both on my community tab here on YouTube and also my Instagram stories. So thank you so much to anyone who submitted a question, a comment, an assumption, anything like that that you want me to answer. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to absolutely every single one. And a couple of them were repeats that I know I've answered in my past Chit Chat Tea and Get Ready With Me. So I'm gonna go ahead and have both of those videos linked down below for you guys to check out in case you missed them. So if you asked me a question and for some reason you didn't see me answer it, chances are I probably answered it in those 2 videos. So definitely check them out. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to get to as many questions as I can. I feel like this might be kind of a long video. I've had quite the influx of subscribers over the last week or 2. Thank you so much to Morgan Turner for giving me a shout out in one of her videos. It was very unexpected. I have watched quite a few of her videos in the past, but her and I had never spoken before. So to see her shout my channel out in one of her videos was so unexpected and so nice and kind, and I am so grateful for it. And I've had quite a few people come over from her channel to check me out. So if you are one of those subscribers, thank you so much for coming to my channel, checking me out, sticking around for a while and watching this video. And if you are not a subscriber that came over from Morgan Turner's video, I still love you and I still appreciate you. And still thank you so much for coming over to my channel and subscribing. I feel like I don't know if I say this enough just before we get started. Every single like, comment, view, anything like that that you guys give to me anytime you shop through my affiliate links down below or you use my affiliate link codes on any of the websites I have in my description box, it means way more to you guys than I think that you understand and really know right now. I just really appreciate you guys so much for the love, the support, anything like that. Just thank you so much. I am not really going to be showing the products or really talking about the products as I use them, but I'm going to try to pop up like pictures in one of the corners down here to show you what I'm using. And as always, I will have everything linked down below for you guys to check out in case you're curious or anything like that. But let's go ahead and get started. So I had quite a few questions about Mike, my husband, so I will go ahead and answer those. So yes, I am married. My husband's name is Mike. We have been married for 2 years. Back on June 15th, it was our 2-year wedding anniversary. We met through mutual friends back in 2017. One of my coworkers at my first job knew him through friends and decided that she thought we would be a pretty good match, which thank goodness she did because I feel like we are. We started dating in March of 2017 and then we got engaged in April of 2019. He proposed to me on a hot air balloon and it was one of the coolest moments of my life ever. He always knew that I wanted to go on a hot air balloon ride. So the fact that he like coupled that into proposing to me was truly amazing. It was literally one of the best like hours of my life. And then we got married on June 15th, 2019. And like I said, we have been married for 2 years. We don't have any children yet. We do have a cat named Butterscotch. He just turned 1. Yes, we are counting our cat's age, but he just turned 1 like a couple weeks ago. So we have a cat. We do not have kids yet. We do want kids eventually, but I know you're never like ready for kids, but we are just really not ready for kids. We definitely want to wait at least another year, maybe 2 years. We just both, I don't know, man, I like my sleep. I like having free time all the time to film YouTube videos for you guys and hang out with our friends. A lot of our friends have babies and my sister just had my nephew almost a year ago now. Wow, he's almost a year. In September, he'll be a year, which is absolutely nuts. So we have a lot of babies in our lives that we can love on whenever whenever I get the baby fever. But eventually we do want kids, just not yet. I feel always so awkward like taking a sip of my tea during this, but it's Chit Chat Tea and Get Ready With Me, so I feel like I should show myself drinking the tea. But that kind of segues into another question, which is, was Mike my first serious relationship? So actually, no, he wasn't. Well, serious, okay, yes and no. Not really, because I had two other relationships before him. I dated a guy throughout high school, like junior, senior year of high school, and then on and off during college as well. But that relationship was not a good one. It was very unhealthy, and he did not treat me well at all. I'm glad that relationship happened because it taught me a lot, but also I look back and I'm like, girlfriend, what were you doing? Why did you let that happen for so long? You let it go on for so long. Why? I mean, I know I was young. It's like when you're in high school and it's like your first love and your first relationship, think it's gonna be the one forever because it's the first time you've ever like felt like that. You know, you kind of probably put up with a lot more when you're young and stupid than you probably should. And then I also dated a guy in college for about 14 months. He treated me better, but we just really were not that compatible. We just kind of fought a lot. So we ended up breaking up. And then I was single for, oh gosh, 2 to 3 years, I feel like, before I met Mike. And then I met Mike and we have pretty much been inseparable since then over the last 4 years. A couple more about Mike and I, and then I will move on. Someone else said that she assumes that Mike and I are very sarcastic together. For sure. I mean, I feel like in a relationship, you kind of have to be able to joke around with your significant other, or it's just like serious all the time, and that's not really fun for anyone. And another person asked, do Mike and I fight? I never seem annoyed with him. I've kind of touched on this in past videos, but I will just go ahead and answer this. In the sense of like yelling at each other and raising our voices at each other, cussing at each other, anything like that, no, we don't fight like that. Like, we're not disrespectful to each other at all. But in the sense that we like snap at each other or like get annoyed with each other, yeah, for sure, of course. We're around each other all the time. We're married. We live together. I mean, that's normal. I feel like to get annoyed with your significant other every once in a while. So yes, of course he annoys me, and yes, of course I annoy him. I never want to portray that him and I are like perfect, that we don't have any issues at all and we are just happy-go-lucky all the time and never fight, because that's like that's literally not realistic. And if someone's portraying their relationship like that on social media, maybe question it a little bit. But yeah, that's also not something I would ever put out on social media for anyone to see. Like, I would never get on my Instagram stories or here on YouTube and like vent and be like, oh my gosh, my husband's driving me crazy. He did this today. Like, you guys don't care. No one wants to see that kind of content, you know what I mean? But for the most part, we really do get along and don't fight very often, which is such a change from my past relationships. So that's very nice. Another question asks, what is one thing I want to do once I'm fully vaccinated? So I am actually really lucky and I am fully vaccinated, and I have been fully vaccinated for like 3 months now. Earlier in the year, teachers got to be vaccinated pretty much almost the first go around here in Ohio. So I got my first shot in March and my second one in April. And then Mike is also fully vaccinated. But the first thing we wanted to do was go on vacation, and we were very lucky and got to do that a couple weeks ago. We went to Asheville for the weekend and then Carolina Beach in North Carolina, and that was so much fun. It was just a great getaway. It was like a little over a week long, so it was a perfect amount of time. We missed our cat like crazy, mainly me. I talked about him every night. Mike was like, I know you missed butterscotch, but I just love him so much. But it was so much fun, and the beach was beautiful, and it was so nice to just sit and relax. So yeah, that was definitely one thing we wanted to do, and thankfully we were able to do that. Someone else asked how my year was teaching through the pandemic, and it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. It was hard. It was challenging. It was weird. Zooming with students is like weird. It's just weird. But I made it. I made it through. I hope they learned something throughout the year. I mean, obviously it was a very weird time for all of us, but you know, my coworkers and I tried our best, and I know all of the teachers across the country and across the world just tried their best. Wouldn't recommend it every year. Hopefully it never happens again, but we survived, right? I got a couple questions about like my current favorite TV show, any recommendations for Netflix and that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I really am not like an avid TV watcher. If I have free time in the evenings, I'm either editing videos or I'm watching YouTube. I will say Mike and I have started watching Mindhunter together. It's on Netflix. He had already previously, I think, seen both seasons. There's 2 seasons, and we just started season 2. I like it. I definitely liked season 1 more than where season 2 is going, but it's it's okay. And then I really don't have many recommendations. Also, like favorite movies. I don't have like a favorite movie, but I have a favorite movie type, which I really like, just like rom-com movies. I don't like anything too scary or suspenseful. Like Mike and I can be watching something scary or suspenseful, and he just sits there and watches it. And he's like, no emotion, he's just watching. And I'm like into it. I'm like squirming the whole time, like freaking out. And I just can't just like sit there and watch something and not freak out. So like when it comes to suspenseful, scary things, I don't fare well because I just literally freak out the whole time. And so I don't really like that. But yeah, definitely like rom-com. I don't mind action movies as long as they're not too gory. I mean, I just kind of look away on the gore, but yeah, that's probably it. And then I got asked about like my favorite music. I really just love a couple like key artists that I listen to all the time. One of them is Jason Mraz. I've talked about that in the past. I actually bought tickets to see him in concert with my two best friends, Hannah and Courtney, and we're going to be 6 rows back. 6 rows back. I'm going to be so close to Jason Mraz. I cannot wait. I'm freaking out. It's in a couple weeks. And then also I really, really love Ed Sheeran. He just released a new song, which I was pumped about. He hasn't released new music in a really long time. I love Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift. I love One Direction, even though they're probably never coming back. Rest in peace, Wendy. But yeah, that's like kind of the main music. Oh shoot, I probably should have answered this one like sooner. But someone asked where I live and what the weather is like. So I live in Ohio, like Southwest Ohio. Right now the weather is very rainy. Very rainy, very humid. It's supposed to rain pretty much all this week, which kind of stinks, but what can you do? But yeah, we're in summertime right now, so it's just really hot and humid. Would I ever get permanent makeup? I'm assuming this person maybe like is talking about microbladed brows, which I don't know if that's like permanent. I think that eventually goes away, or like tattooed makeup, like eyeliner or lip liner. I have 2 tattoos. I'm not against getting tattoos, but I would never get like permanent makeup, only because I feel like my makeup preferences have definitely changed over the years. And so I may really like eyeliner right now or wear it, kind of often now, but in my like 40s and 50s, am I gonna wanna have like permanent eyeliner on, you know what I mean? So I personally would never. Also, I just like change up my makeup so much that like to have something always on me and not be able to change like my lip liner color or my eyeliner color or anything like that, I would not like to not be able to do that. And then someone else asked me, this kind of segues into it, how have my makeup preferences changed over the last like year and a half? I've talked about this at length on my video, like every video I feel like I mentioned this, but my skin is just getting a lot drier than it used to be. I used to have a really, really oily skin. Like in high school and college, oh my goodness, you could fry a burger on my face. But it's not really like that anymore. It's not really that intense anymore. I definitely still get oily in my T-zone and my chin. It's like my chin hasn't caught up with the rest of my face. So it's like dry, oily. So that's very annoying. So my preferences have changed because I have definitely gone into more like hydrating products, hydrating primers, hydrating setting sprays, all of that. I used to be terrified of anything that was like illuminating or hydrating or anything like that. Didn't want, my skin to be more oily. And I used to hate when my face was any sort of like luminous at all, because again, I was so oily and I knew that meant my oils were like peeking through. But now I really, really love when my face looks just almost like it has a healthy glow and sheen to it, and not like highlighter just all over. I think it's just a really pretty look to not look super matte and flat all the time anymore. That's used to be all I wanted, but now I'm like, And then I got asked a bunch about trends. So like trends I love, trends I'm over, trends I want to try, trends I want to forget. I'm really into the fluffy brow trend. I really am. I'm not into the no makeup skin tint kind of makeup that's becoming really popular right now. I just don't have the skin for it. I have acne scars and redness that I want to cover up. Like I don't like when that stuff peeks through. Not that there's anything wrong with acne scars or your skin not being perfect. And I feel like I've definitely embraced that more over my almost 30 years of life, my 28 years of life. I don't know, that doesn't mean that I want all my imperfections just like peeping through all the time. So I'm definitely not into the skin tint kind of trend. One I would like to try is the Scott Barnes method, where you go ahead and contour like under your foundation. But also I don't really know how I'm gonna do that because I don't really have that many kind of sheery, lightweighty foundations. Most of my foundations are medium to full coverage. So I'm like, okay, if I did that and then applied foundation, what would I use to show the contour like peeping through? Does that make sense? So I would like to try that eventually. Trends I'm over, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't matter if I'm over something. You can do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Wear makeup that makes you happy. So even if I'm over a trend, who cares? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess I'm not really over a trend because I just like do what you want. My tea is decaf, but I feel like I need to buy black tea that's not decaffeinated because yo girl has not been sleeping well. I have never been a good sleeper. I've always struggled with sleeping and like falling asleep. I like stay asleep fine. It's just falling asleep that just takes me forever at night. And I don't know what it is. I have been sleeping. Well, I think I do know what it is, but I've just been sleeping so terribly lately. Anyways, another question was, do I have to do like heavier makeup for a camera? I'm sure like other YouTubers do because they have like a really fancy setup where they have tons of light. And I feel like I have good enough lighting in my videos. Let me know if you would like my lighting to be better. I can maybe try to work on it, but I feel like for the most part, I have pretty decent lighting in my videos. So I'm not like completely blown out, if that makes sense. But I just kind of honestly wear heavy makeup all the time. And I know I do. I know. I look back at like pictures or videos and I'm like, Emily, you put on a little too much bronzer there, a little bit too much blush. I know I'm very heavy-handed. I always have been my whole life with applying makeup. So that's definitely something I need to work on. But then again, I like that look. My thoughts on the new Hourglass eyeshadows. I haven't really looked that much into it. However, I know I've seen from other people posting it and stuff that the prices are outrageous. I'm pretty sure it's like $120 for 3 eyeshadows. I could be wrong. Maybe it's $120 for like more than that, but either way, I know Hourglass is an expensive brand. It always has been very like luxury and very expensive, but I'm sorry. Those prices for eyeshadows, that's absurd. That's like more than Natasha Denona. And Natasha Denona and like Pat McGrath are already very highly priced eyeshadows, but they have the formula to back it up. And I personally have never tried any Hourglass eyeshadows, but I also have never heard anyone talking about them. So I don't think they have like the reputation in eyeshadows to back up those prices. So I think that's kind of absurd. I definitely will not be purchasing them. Someone asked about some products that I cannot stop using, and it's definitely these two right here. The Jaclyn Cosmetics Brightening and Setting Palette. I love this. I've been using it nonstop the past couple weeks to set under my eyes and in my T-zone. And then the Pat McGrath blush in the shade Flirtatious. Oh my gosh, this is like the prettiest blush ever. It is perfect on my skin tone. The formula is perfect. The shade is perfect. Everything about it is perfect. I'm going to be using this a little bit later, but now we're going to set under the eyes. And someone asked if I've ever bought makeup from QVC. I personally have not bought makeup from QVC. However, my mom has bought a lot of makeup from QVC. I know they have a lot of different brands on there. This person specifically asked about Laura Geller. I feel like my mom has bought me some Laura Geller makeup in the past, but I just haven't tried it yet. I'm really bad about this. I'm really bad about trying like new brands that I have not really heard a lot about, if that makes sense. Like obviously I just tried Jason Woo's brand that's newer, but I've like seen a lot of reviews on that and I've heard a lot about it. So when I like know of brands that, I guess when I see brands that I don't know of that I haven't heard a lot about, I don't know, it makes me like leery to try them. So I'll have to like see what Laura Geller products she has purchased, because I think she has for herself and me. I feel like it was like palettes that had like blushes and bronzers and eyeshadows in it. I'll have to take a look at my makeup collection and see what I got going on. But I'm also not one to like sit and watch QVC. Maybe if I like watched it, I would buy more makeup from there, but I never think to just sit down and watch QVC. So someone else asked me my thoughts on the term influencer, and she said she's also a teacher and she sees like actual real life people influencing young children on a daily basis. And she says it's kind of hard to, you know, use that term so like flippantly with people online. I honestly had never really thought about it that way. I don't ever really call myself like an influencer. I mean, I know I have my YouTube channel and my makeup page or my Instagram page and all that, but I've never like, I don't say like, oh, I'm an influencer. influencer. I feel like a lot of people don't. I feel like a lot of people don't like categorize themselves as an influencer. I mean, obviously, if you have a following on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or any other social media, technically you are an influencer. You are influencing people to buy products from you or read the books you read or listen to music. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not just makeup related. I mean, you are technically influencing people. I just really wish people would take it more seriously. I know Smoky Glow talks about this a lot on her channel, like her commentary videos, about how people with large platforms need to take it seriously. You have thousands, if not millions of people watching your every move and doing what you're doing and emulating you and wanting to be like you. And if you're not, I don't know, if you're not willing to take that seriously and really try to be a good person, what are you doing? Why would you want to influence people to make mistakes? Or like, I don't know, I'm thinking of like Tana Mojo and like Jeffree Star, James Charles. Like, they have so much influence and so much following, but they're not good people. I'm sorry, from what I have seen from them and the drama that they have been involved in over the past couple years. I don't watch Tana Mojo's videos, but I've watched a lot of videos on her and all the mistakes she's made and all the scams she's put her like followers through. And I'm like, what are you doing? I know she's young, but I don't know. I just feel like people who are famous, whether it be from social media or like actresses or anything like that, like, I don't know. I really think you need to really think about what type of influence you're going to portray into the world, and if it's going to be a positive one or not. I'm not saying people have to be perfect and they can't make mistakes. You have millions of people watching you. You should probably like try to be a decent person every once in a while and like maybe try to not make so many mistakes. I don't know. I kind of agree with Hannah from Smoky Glow that like there's so many people who are in these platforms and have these huge followings and they just don't seem to be good people. And it's like, why? And there's so many good people out there who have smaller followings that should have millions of people looking after them because they are good people, and they don't because they aren't big enough or they're not in scandal. And like Mike has told me so many times, like, you need to get in YouTube drama to like grow your channel, as like a joke. Obviously he doesn't really want me to get in drama, but he's like, that's what people like, that's what people follow, that's what people, you know, are here for, the tea, the drama, which he's not wrong. But like, then again, it's like, no, I'm good. That kind of segues into our next question, which is my thoughts on YouTube drama. I'm not sure like this specific drama because there's so much YouTube drama. I'm not sure what specific drama this person was referring to, or just maybe my thoughts in general. I mean, we're human beings. There's going to be drama and there's going to be conflict no matter what. It does not matter when in the world or time or history you're referring to, who you're referring to, if it's on the internet, in person, at work, with your friends, with your family, your spouse. It doesn't matter. People have emotions and people get offended and upset. So there's always going to be drama per se. Do I think some people maybe are involved a little too often? Yeah, sure. Or maybe need to take a look at themselves and see like, oh, I'm constantly in scandal and constantly in drama. Why? But then again, it's those larger YouTubers that I was just kind of referring to before who are just like constantly in drama. And it's like, well, I think that either A, they do it on purpose, or B, they're just like, that's just their personality, which is kind of crappy to say, like that's just their personality. But some people, I mean, I've known people in my real life that some people just thrive off making other people feel bad about themselves and putting people down and having drama and being in drama. And it's really sad, but there's people out there. I'm sure you know people like that in your real life too. So do I think it's unnecessary to have like YouTube drama all the time? Yeah, sure. I hopefully am never involved in any of it. I just want to sit here and make my little makeup YouTube videos for you guys and love life and have fun. So hopefully I am never involved in it, but yeah, I don't know. It's probably pretty unnecessary. Speaking of just having fun and making YouTube videos, I got quite a few people asking me about balancing YouTube and teaching. Would I want to do YouTube full time one day? Yes. Yes, I would. I would absolutely love to do YouTube full time one day. Who wouldn't? I mean, honestly, this is so much fun. You get to literally just make videos on topics you love and hang out and talk to your subscribers who enjoy your content. You enjoy making content. They enjoy watching it. Like, it's the dream. I really look up to Jessica Braun, and then now Morgan Turner. I realized that she just went full-time YouTube. She was teaching, and now she went full-time, and I just think that's so amazing. Like, good for them. I think that's awesome. And I would really, really love to do that one day. I know I have a lot to learn. I have a lot of growing to do. I am so grateful for the 2,300 subscribers I have. I'm so grateful. I've only been doing YouTube about a year or so. So I didn't think that I would reach 2,000 subscribers within like, I had no idea when I would possibly reach that number. So the fact that I reached it within a year is amazing. It's amazing. So I just need to be happy with the growth that I have so far and just keep chugging along and making videos and making content that I enjoy and my followers and subscribers enjoy. And hopefully eventually the organic growth will happen and I'll be able to be a big enough channel one day that I could do this full time. That's the dream. I really would love to do that. And as far as teaching and balancing YouTube, it's just the time. Like, really, it's the time of finding time to film the videos and edit them. Not really edit, because I can just do that in the evening, but it's really the time to film them. I mean, I would come home from work and just be literally exhausted. You're just exhausted from teaching all day long. So yeah, just finding the time to like film and have enough energy to be like perky and fun and like make your videos not boring, and then working that around like full-time teaching, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it's been hard. Definitely it's been hard, but yeah. Someone else asked how much money I spend on makeup in like a month or a year. And I'm not gonna lie, I know that amount. I do. I write down every single purchase I make in a notes app on my phone. Totaled up, I think in 2019 and 2020, I totaled up how much I spent in a year. I personally don't, at least at this time, feel comfortable necessarily sharing that like X amount of dollars, just because I really don't want people to judge, because it's more than like $100. Obviously. I mean, you guys have seen my hauls that are more than $100. I will say though, I have been really lucky that I am monetized on YouTube. Oh shoot, I just got that way too low. So I do make money off of videos when you guys watch them, and I have ads in them and stuff. So I have been making money off of YouTube. I've been monetized since December. Now I am nowhere near making enough money to like pay my bills and do this full time, but it's nice because it's a little extra income that I can then put towards my channel and put back into my channel to buy makeup. So definitely the past couple of months, I feel like my makeup spending has gone up. It's increased, but it's also because I'm taking the money I'm making off YouTube and putting it back into my channel, if that makes sense. So anytime you watch my video and sit through the ads, I appreciate that so much. I kind of touched on this earlier in the video, but anytime you use my links to shop through them in the description box, most of them are affiliate links. Some of them aren't. Some of them I just can't make affiliate links for some items, like new ones. Or if you use like my codes, like I'm an affiliate with Cloven Hollow, Verb, Look Fantastic, Grande Cosmetics. I think there's a couple more listed down there too. So there's quite a few brands that I'm an affiliate with. Anytime you use those codes, shop through those links, it gets me a very small kickback. Very small, I'm not gonna lie, it's not a lot, but it adds up, you know what I mean? I really appreciate anytime you guys choose to do that. But yeah, I don't feel super comfortable with like saying a specific number on YouTube for everyone to see and hear and judge. Another person asked about my experience working with brands and like networking, growing my Instagram and like YouTube. For the most part, I feel like I've had really good experiences. There's been a couple times when brands have like reached out to me and asked to send me PR, and then it just doesn't show up, which I know is like a thing that happens quite a lot. I think I've heard Samantha March say that in a couple of her videos, where she'll like get, you know, a email about something being sent to her and then it just never shows up, which I understand, things happen. The only thing that really stinks is I'm trying to go away from just accepting PR and really go towards having like paid content, if that makes sense, like paid opportunities. Like with YouTube, it's a little bit easier because when I post a video, like I said, I'm making money through the AdSense. But on Instagram, if I just post an Instagram post, I'm not making money off of like how many likes I get or how many people view that photo or how many people view my stories, you know what I mean? So in that instance, I've been trying to go away from just accepting PR and telling brands who reach out to me like, hey, I'm going away from gifted opportunities. I would really like to be kept in touch or kept in mind for paid opportunities. And so far, that hasn't really come about anything. A lot of times they just say back like, well, we don't have a budget. And I'm like, okay, well, just, you know, keep me in mind for future opportunities if you can. So that's like the only, I guess, bad experience, because, you know, they reach out to work with you and then they seem like they want to work with you, but then when you say, well, I'm not going to work with you for free, then they're like, oh, okay, well, we don't have a budget. You're like, okay, well, you didn't want to work with me that bad. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, I haven't really had a terrible experience with any specific brand that I can talk about. For the most part, I feel like brands know the importance of influencers and having a good relationship with influencers. Gosh, this mascara, this Lawless one, I just like cannot make it work for me. But now I feel like there's a trend and a movement going on where people are saying like, no, we deserve to be paid for our content. It doesn't matter your following. If you are creating content for a brand that they are going to turn around and use, or it's advertisement, free advertisement for them, like you should get paid no matter your following. And when brands are being kind of crappy towards people aren't really afraid to necessarily like call them out and just kind of say like, this was my experience, like I did not like this. And I think that's great. Like brands, you know, they need to realize like influencers, and here I am using the term, are important. And it doesn't matter your following. If you have people who are willing to buy something off your recommendation and, you know, it's advertisement for their product, then you should get paid for that. You know what I mean? Hence why I'm trying to go away from gifted opportunities into paid opportunities. It hasn't, you know, really happened for me yet, but maybe one day it will. And then the last question I'll talk about really quickly is someone asked about my wedding, like my wedding dress and the makeup and all of that. So I'll try to be popping up pictures here for you to see. But the dress I ended up picking was not something I ever would have thought I would pick. I am very busty. I have a very large chest and I am not a stick. I'm not a stick. I never have been. I never will be. I have some junk in my trunk. I've got some extra leave-ins. That's just, I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to eat healthy and lose weight and be, you know, a better version of myself, but I don't wear like form-fitting clothes, like really tight clothes. I just never have. But my wedding dress was like very tight. It was like a mermaid style. It was very tight in the boobs. It was strapless. I never wear strapless things. Everything I don't really like in normal clothing, I picked for my wedding dress, but I just put that dress on and felt so incredibly beautiful in it. And the lady at the dress store was like so sweet. And she like made me close my eyes. It was so funny. Sorry, I'm trying to put liner on. She like asked me my fiance's name, so I told her it was Mike, and she like had me up on the pedestal. She put a veil on, gave me fake flowers, and she was like, okay, close your eyes. Now imagine you're in this dress and you're walking down the aisle to your husband, Mike, and it's your wedding day and everything's perfect. And she was like, open your eyes. Is this the dress? I have like goosebumps. She was like, is this the dress that you want to be wearing on your wedding day? And I immediately started bawling my eyes out. I feel like I'm about to get emotional now and I have like goosebumps all over my body. And she was like, is this the dress that you want to be wearing on your wedding day to marry the love of your life? And I was like, yes, it is. Oh my God, I'm literally about to cry. And it was like such a special moment, and like all my best friends were there and my mom, and it was so fun. And I just like felt so beautiful in the dress. Why am I crying, Emily? What the frick? Stop. I just like, it was so weird and so different from anything I'd ever worn before, but I just like felt so beautiful in it. It was so weird. And then the wedding, or the makeup, sorry. Oh my God, compose yourself. The makeup, I really thought about doing my makeup myself. I really thought about it, and everyone was telling me I should. I had been in quite a few weddings prior to my own. A bunch of my friends got married before me, and like cousins and stuff, and my sister. And anytime I had gotten my makeup done for their weddings, I just didn't like it, and I ended up fixing it. And so I ended up like doing my own makeup for quite a few of my weddings I've been in. And people kept telling me like, why don't you do your own? And I just kept telling them, like, I want to be pampered. I want to just relax that day, get my hair done, my makeup done. I don't want to have to stress and do it myself. And I kind of regret that, I'm not gonna lie. Both my hair and my makeup on the trial, you know how you like do a trial before you get married, like a month or two before? I liked it so much more on the trial than the day of. And I think the girl was just a little tiny bit rushed on the day of. You know, you start really early in the morning, you try to plan it all out, and you try to make sure you have enough time for everything. But the bride is one of the last people to go to get their hair and makeup done, because, especially makeup, because they want it to be as fresh as possible. You're not like the last person to go if you haven't been married yet, but you're one of the last people, because again, they want you to look as like fresh and beautiful as you can. And because of that, I think she was just rushing a tiny bit. I didn't feel ugly. Like, it's not like my makeup was terrible and everyone else loved it and everyone else, you know, told me I looked beautiful. I just myself was I'm just very picky. If I could go back in time, I would do my own makeup, but it's okay. I still really like how it turned out and I liked my like pictures and stuff. Yeah, but the day of, it rained. It rained, so that was fun. Our poor guests had to like stand because they like arrived and it was like kind of sprinkling and then it stopped and they all went out and we were about to walk down the aisle and it started like pouring rain and then it stopped and the people at my venue like went out with like little leaf blowers and was like drying all the chairs and then it started raining again. And so it eventually stopped and I really wanted to get married under the gazebo there that the venue had. It just was so beautiful and everyone kept telling me like, you can do it under the awning, like it's fine, like no one's gonna care, no one's gonna be upset, it's not like at the gazebo. But I was like, I picked that venue for the gazebo. And so my dad was like looking at the radar and he was like, all right, Em, we have like a 10 to 15 minute window here in a couple minutes, like do you want to do it? And I was like, yes, let's go. I already knew that the ceremony was going to be very short. We did not want a long ceremony at all. So I said like, yes, I want to do it. And my poor guest had to like stand the whole time because his chairs were still like soaking wet. There wasn't enough time to dry it before the other rain, which was fine. It was a really short ceremony. So it's not like they had to stand for like a long time. You know what I mean? But even during the ceremony, it started to like kind of rain, not like super heavy, but like kind of. And so our guests still got rained on and then we got rained on walking back and it's fine. But then it stopped and then it was like literally the most beautiful night ever. But honestly, other than that, the day like went really smooth. It was an amazing day. And it was so fun to just have all of our family and friends there together celebrating us. And it was like a party afterwards and I like danced the night away. Food was good. Our DJs were amazing. Oh my gosh, our DJs were amazing. If you're gonna splurge on something, splurge on the DJ, really, honestly, because they are the one who keeps the party going, who keeps everything on time, who introduces you, who does all the talking. If they're like boring or make a mistake, I'm not saying it's gonna like ruin your wedding, but honestly, the DJs are so important and ours were so sweet. Ooh, okay, I have setting spray and that is it. And we're done, guys. I feel like I've been talking my face off and your ears off and I'm so sorry. Let me go add setting spray and then we'll wrap this long video up. And that was it, you guys. That was episode 3 of Chit Chat Tea and Get Ready With Me. I only have a couple sips left. I know you probably didn't like see me drinking it very much, but thank you so much for asking all these questions. I had a lot of fun answering them. I feel like this video is going to be very long, but I'm not going to try to edit it down too much. Usually when my videos are long, I try to edit them down because who wants to sit here and watch like a 30-40 minute long video? But these were questions that you guys asked and you wanted to know. So I don't know, we'll see how long it ends up being, but thank you so much if you asked a question and you participated. Again, if you didn't see your question answered, check out those other 2 videos below because I probably answered them in those videos. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you so much. Please subscribe if you have not yet and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.